Okay, so we're gonna start off with a cap. I do not ball cap, you guys. If you watch my TikTok, you would know that I do not ball cap. But I'm just gonna take the Anastasia and Beverly Hills cream contour palette, and we're gonna use that on her lace to tint it as well as her cap, because the cap needs to be darker than her skin. And the more I start moving it around, you're gonna see me go back through it and darken that cap up because it is too light, or you're gonna see the line through thing. But right now, I'm just putting the tint on her lace and pulling it down. My girl Destiny has a big apple head, so we had to make her a custom unit. And I'm just placing a unit on her head to see, pull it down to her hairline and all that good stuff like that. And we're going to move on top of the lace as well. Try not to get makeup like all over the hair to a certain extent, you know. But so you see the line of the cap right there. But again, like I said, we're just gonna go through it and darken it up. You feel me? So it's not seen. And now for hers in particular, some installs I do cut the lace, some I don't. But I'm just gonna cut the lace because so I can see her hairline. Cause she doesn't have a low hairline, but she has like a little weird hairline, and I just wanted to fit her head right. So I'm just gonna cut the lace prior to actually melting it, and cut in a raggedy zigzag motion as most would say. And you see how like jagged that is when I cut it. And so now I'm just cutting around the ears and all that good stuff. And yeah, just cutting around her ears. Like it fits her hair perfectly, so I really have to cut off much. And Des has a long hairline too. Like the whole frontal typically fits around her hairline. But yeah, so I just cut off one side, then cut off the other side. And now we're gonna move on to actually applying the lace, gluing it down, you feel me? So after we get done doing that, I'm gonna pin her hair back. And across her hairline, we are going to use Walker's lace tape. This is what gives you a good maximum hold. Personally, I do not recommend it for sensitive skin. And I accidentally touched her lace accidentally touched it. But you see, Walker's lace tape is clear, and it's gonna help you, it's gonna help you get that look that you want and stuff like that. But I do not, personally, I do not recommend it for beginners. It's messy. It's once it's there, it's there. It's a system. Like this is like very much professional glue. So I'm just applying that, with ease. Try not to get none on her edges. She does have sideburns, but I always talk to my clients on the removal process and how we are going to remove, the glue. So, anyways, back to the point, you feel me? We gon' apply it in like light layers and stuff like that. And really, you can get away with one layer with Walker's Lace Tape, one thin layer, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna just let you guys watch me do that. But again, you see, like I let the glue meet the cap, so that prevents the cap from sliding back as well. And I'm just doing this across the whole hairline, if you understand exactly what I'm saying. And I'm just gonna let you guys watch me, do that. Apply the layer of glue. But again, like I said, just thin it out with the end tip of your edge brush, comb, popsicle stick, whatever you prefer to use. So you're just gonna do that, and I just personally use this particular edge comb for my glue only. I don't use this on their edges, but I use that, and then I just pull it off, all the excess glue off at the end. It just like rolls off. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what I do there. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all. This is my first YouTube video for my hair page, and I just don't want to be real cookie cutter on here. But I'm not by no means that I'm just like pure ratchet, so I might not be cussing on here and all that good stuff. But yeah, anyways, let's get back to the video. Okay, so like I said, just watch me apply that clear layer, and I'm gonna get back with you guys when it's time to actually sit the lace in the glue. I'm gonna start putting the glue onto the lace, I mean the lace onto the glue, and you're just gonna see me placing it on there. As you can see, the lace looks good, but of course we're gonna have to darken it a little bit more for Dez's skin tone. But as for now, this is great. And so now you're just gonna see me placing it on there, and if you pay attention, you're gonna see like there's gonna be like this small little line of glue on there. And I try, as I told you guys, I try to do minimal editing on these videos. So you're just gonna see me fumbling right over there. I was just getting some of the excess hairs that fell through the cap out of the way before I actually placed the lace down on that side. So again, like I said, you're just gonna see me place it on there, and you're gonna see that small little millimeter of glue laying right there. And that's actually, I'm gonna tell you guys what that's for in the next slide. But as I do that, you're gonna see me placing it down, and I'm gonna take a comb and I'm just gonna press into the lace a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Give it a good press. Now, if you guys lay it too early, for the Walker's lace tape, your glue is going to pull through the lace. So make sure you don't put too much. Make sure your layer is thin enough. Even if you do two, just make sure it's even and thin enough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just pressing it in again with the tooth of the comb. Make sure I don't have no waves or nothing like that. No rippling. And we're going to, move on to the next step. So as I'm fumbling with this, you're going to start seeing me pull out the baby hairs. Now, this is a gem. Like, basically, if you have clients who's not good, typically, like, the problem is baby hairs. Like, people can't really uphold their baby hairs. So what helps hold the baby hairs in place for me is leaving that little bitty line of glue right there. Like, just a little bitty line in the areas on which you're going to lay baby hairs. And I'm going to pick the hair out, and I'm going to press it into that small line of glue. It's not going to leave any residue on their cap or nothing like that, but you're going to need that in order for like the edges to just like hold the spot that they're in. Because I checked on Dez's install, and that install lasted her like almost a month if I'm not mistaken. But as I said, you're going to press the glue, the lace, the baby hairs into that line of glue. This is going to have like the little small baby hairs coming across the front of her hairline. So yeah. So the baby hairs are out, so you feel me? And we're going to go and get that good old friend, the elastic band. You guys stay tuned. I do have my own melt belts. Oh, no, not melt belts, but lace, elastic bands for melting coming out soon. So subscribe to the mailing list, constructedbyruth.com. If you guys would like to get your own personal elastic bands, they're made a little different. But this is the key to getting a great melt. So you're just going to take the elastic band and you're going to, tie that around your head. But with mine, it's a Velcro strap in the back, so it just, straps across, and it's a little more thicker than this. But yeah, so just going to tie that down, and it's going to help give you a nice melt. And after we get done, tying this down, you're just going to go through the hair, and I'm just making sure if it's fit right, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the baby hairs. Now, sorry about stepping in front of the camera. When you're cutting the baby hairs, the shorter the better, but don't cut them too short. So this wants more dramatic. So when you're thinking like, oh, she wants dramatic baby hairs, you need to leave them a little bit longer. But when you want to do like natural fluffy baby hairs and all that good stuff, go a little bit shorter. Like a little bit like half an inch is good. So I'm actually going to be cutting these like as I lay them, but we'll get to that part later on in the video and all that good stuff. So keep doing that. And so after we get letting that melt, we're going to move on to getting the wax stick. I use the She Is Bomb wax stick in this case. And so I'm going to take that. And a good way to get that installed flat is apply the wax stick in sections. So you need to go throughout the hairline and apply that wax stick. You see what I'm saying? Like I picked it up and opened it up in certain areas and apply that wax stick to that. Don't overload, but apply it. And I do like this wax stick because it doesn't leave too bad of a residue. Some wax sticks be kind of heavy, but this one's not heavy, so I do like that about the She Is Bomb wax stick. So now you're just going to see me do that, and I'm going to comb and part of her hair. She's doing the middle part, so I'm making sure I, part her out the middle part, and we're going to comb. And after we get done, figuring out the part, which is already figured out, of course, we're going to use that hot comb and get to work. So let's go ahead and show you what this hot comb do. So now I told y'all, like, sections matter. Like, little bit by little bit equals better results when doing hair. Like, if you just do it chunky, you're going to come out with a chunky install. So as you see, I'm using a hot comb. We're going to go around the perimeter of the hairline. And with most hot combs, if you don't have a flat one, the barrel is the part that gets hot. So make sure you turn and curve that barrel to the part that you want to straighten out. Do you see how I'm combing and I'm going to like flip upward? You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to be doing with your barrel, So I'm just going to do that. See, I did the main part. Now I'm going to go through the hairline, and I'm going to actually, hot comb through it. And I actually went through the back of the wig, at the root of the tracks, all that good stuff. So that's how you're going to get your install looking flat as it needs to look. So section it out, y'all. Like, that's the best advice I can give you on getting that flat install that you want. So, like, if I wasn't curling this and I wanted a 30-inch bust down, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to look good. I wanted to look great. I'm going to have to, work in sections around it to get that flat look that I want. So as you can see, the install's already coming together anyway. But now after we get done hot combing, we're going to go ahead and move over to, cutting out her layers and curling. Yeah, I really got a 2 for 1 in this one. But okay, so I'm just gonna show you guys curls. But as I said before, if you want your curls to hold, you're going to have to add some form of layers in it, some light layers so it can hold this curl. Cause like if it's straight all the way through, gravity's gonna be pulling that whole little head down, that whole little area down and all that stuff, and it's just gonna drag. They're gonna drop, like, cause that's what gravity telling it to do. But I really thought I zoomed out when I was cutting out the layers, y'all. So I'll do another video and just showing you how to lay your hair, lightly lay your hair, without doing too much. Cause like when she flat irons it, it's still gonna look, well put together. But again, as you see, sections. Keep working in sections, y'all. Like, I don't know how many times I'm gonna say it. You might hear this on my videos every single time. But work in sections, and you're gonna lightly layer it. So you're gonna hold your scissors down at an angle, and, cut downward. You're going to see a little bit more of it when I move to the other side, but I did ultimately like 4 parts and I layered it out. But I didn't start the cuts all the way until like the little bit below her cheekbones. So if that helps you. But again, you want it lightly layered. So now I'm just gonna move to the other side and I'm gonna do the same thing. You're gonna see it a little bit better there. But see, I just cut downwards, like literally. It's not even noticeable, but it's noticeable once I do the curls, if you get where I'm coming from. So again, like 3, 4, 5, 6 layers, and you out of there. So after we get done doing this, we're gonna move on to removing that elastic band. Nope, oops, I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna start curling, and I'm using my Hot Tools curling iron, and now this is key. I just wanted to flatten it out a little bit more, so I put the barrels to her root, and now I'm just parting it out. And when you curling, you want to start at the root. That's how you get those curls, to get that big voluminous, and you want it, looking good, looking great. So I'm just going to take it and go all the way to the root of her head and move down the shaft. And we're going to keep rolling, like up and down, up and down, up and down. So you feel me? So, and open and close the mouth too, 'cause that's what's going to help it move and all that. So you see how I keep rolling back up every time I pull it down the shaft of the hair. So now I do that, and again, if the hair is hot when you remove it, don't just automatically let the curl drop. Hold that curl for a little bit, girl. Like, you want to hold it just like that. And I always flip it. Like, I did it effortlessly that time because I do it so much. But I always flip the curl, like, around again. And so I'm going to do that again, roll down the shaft of the hair, flip it over, and repeat the process. And actually, when I work around the beginning of the hair, like the front of the hairline, I pin those up. So you're going to see me pin those up. I didn't actually do the pins on camera, but it's nothing but just holding the curl and putting the pin on it. So if you guys want a little more detail on that, then I can, but it's kind of self-explanatory when doing so to a certain extent, you know. And yeah, so that's what we did. And now I'm just going to remove the elastic band. I curled the back already, but you see I did not pin those up. But we're going to remove the elastic band. And I just want to say, look at the wonders an elastic band does for you. Because when I remove this band, y'all, you're going to be like, oh, looks good, looks great, But I still got to go through and add a little bit more makeup just to, tint and give it a tint she needs and all that good stuff. So you're going to see me go around and do it. And don't worry about that ear tab. We're definitely going to fix that. So, I'm just applying a little bit by little bit. You could use LA Girl Pro Concealer, but I am using the St. Anastasia and Beverly Hills palette because that just gives that melted look that, I'm just familiar with that. You know what I'm saying? But LA Girl Pro definitely does the trick, and you don't get much flashback from that either. But Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Palette, no flashback, like, at all. So that's why I do love working with it, and it has a good amount of not too much oil in it. It's not oily. So now we're finna move on to those baby hairs. And I actually wanted to try the little trick, like when you curl it. So I got my little small curling irons, well, flat irons. And really, I wish I had, I know that I could get the curl that I really, really want if I had my small, more, Marciel, whatever you said. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My little oven curlers or whatever and stuff like that. But, I put my finger close to her scalp to make sure I didn't burn her or anything like that. And you have to make sure they're long, but I actually got another hack for you guys who do like this method um in my next upcoming video. So, stay tuned. But yeah, so I'm just flipping those back, just trying to see how I feel about the technique and all that good stuff. And I feel that it's helpful depending on, the look you're going for. So anyways, back to the point. I'm going to take Gorilla Snot to lay edges. That is what I use to lay edges. You don't need much gel just enough to, be able to mold and all that good stuff. So I'm just gonna lay some Gorilla Snot on her edges and stuff like that. It's coming up in the next slide. I'm talking a little faster than the videos and all that good stuff. But anyway, so you see, I put a little bit on my wrist, and we're gonna go to town. We're gonna lay it all on there. And when we're gonna do that, the curls are meant to help guide you guys, as we swoop those baby hairs. But y'all gonna see me just swoop them things for you. You feel me? Okay, now when laying your baby hairs, y'all, you want to move in like a C motion. But here's a hack right here. I use like some of the gel that's there, the fallout from the gel. I typically use that to push back into the hairline, so it gives a more sleek look at the hairline. So when curling, oh my god, y'all, sorry, when swooping your baby hairs, what you gotta do is you gotta go in a C motion. So you're going to, when you draw a C, you go forward and backward, like yeah, like forward and backward. So you're gonna need to pull the baby hair forward and then go back, and use your fingers as an anchor point. So use your fingers to help you glide through the hairline. And also, ain't nothing wrong with going back and cutting it, you know what I'm saying? So you see, I move forward and then I pull backward, and then like the hairs at the end, I'll use the end of the comb to help, push it back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, swoop them things back. Don't be scared of them. And if you find one that you feel is too long, ain't nothing wrong with getting, some scissors and actually cutting it and all that good stuff. So that's what you're going to do. Move forward and then go back. And you're just going to do it across the whole hairline. And when working with the one in the middle, you'll like, it looks weird when you have the big middle baby hair part, you know what I'm saying? Like, in my personal opinion. Like, when the middle one is just like way too long, it kind of messes up the flow. So that one is typically shorter, in most cases, shorter than the rest of the baby hairs, you know what I'm saying? So that's what you're gonna do. But you're gonna move in the C motion, you're gonna move forward and backwards. And even now in this clip, you're gonna see me go through and cut, the extra long pieces that I'm not too fond of. Cause ain't nothing wrong with, adjusting things to your liking. But also, you see me making sure I push that X6 product into the hairline, because that gives it that sleek look that is needed. So, see, I cut it. That's all you gotta do is cut it, literally. And that's how you're going to get that look that you want. You know what I'm saying? So, it takes time. You get faster with time and all that good stuff. But that's just how it goes. So, again, you just see me doing the middle ones. You see, I told you cut them a little shorter than usual. And draw that C motion. You want it to lay like how natural baby hairs would lay. Because mine lay like that. So, now, here's the key. I always tie my baby hairs back down while I'm going through the styling process, just to give it a little sense of security. You can even hit with the blow dryer if you want to, but I typically don't do that. So now with your curls, to help give you that voluminous look, you need air to come through your curls. Like, you need it to be kind of like airy and flowy. So I always come through the original brush with a powder brush, and get that look I want, and work from the ends up if you're a beginner, but if you're not, you can always start from the roots, you know what I'm saying? And then I come back with the comb to get precision on how I want them exactly to lay. So you see, I come with the comb at the top, and I'm just moving that top curl area in the direction that I want it, just to get some, sleekness to it and all that good stuff. So we're going to come through, as like I said, just making sure any imperfections that are there, just trying to remove those, and, make sure it's right there, getting ready to take her a little flick, a little picture. And right here, you actually see me doing her middle part. This frontal was actually kind of hard to pluck. The knots were kind of tough on it. So I just come through sometimes and pull it off with my finger. It wasn't nothing major, nothing worth showing. If you did want to see something, you could watch my previous plucking video on how I told you guys that I do deal with that. But again, as I've said before, you're going to remove that elastic band and all that good stuff. And you guys are going to see like a little glare right there in the middle of her head. But that's only because of how the light is hitting her head. So that's just like a little shine. Do you hear me? But after we get done, it was nice. Her install lasted for 4 weeks. Almost 4 weeks. And we did the thing. But you can always also, if you guys want an extra hold on your milk, you can always come through with the little freeze spray at the end and, spray it down. But even right here in that moment right there, what I just did, you guys just see me, turning the curls in the direction in which I wanted them. But after that, we are done. And here is the finished product, you know. The finished product is right here. And we actually went viral on TikTok with this look. So I'll talk to you guys later. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know how you feel.